All right, so you are at the point where you need to choose a good fit book for yourself to read for SSR. Couple hints for that. Some of you are big readers, and so finding a book probably isn't that hard for you. But some of you maybe don't like to read as much or are never sure what to read. So I'm going to try and give you a couple of hints. The first thing is to look at the word or words I pick and the letter I. So the nice thing about SSR is I choose the book, or you choose it, I should say. You choose which book you're going to read, hoping that it will be interesting to you and you will enjoy it. The letter P stands for purpose. And the purpose for reading in SSR is for you to enjoy the book. We are looking for something that you can enjoy. And so it's important that you think about what kinds of books do you think you would like to read. Maybe it's not a book. Maybe it's more of a magazine or an article or something like that. But think about topics that interest you. The next letter I is making sure it's interesting. So again, just thinking about your own interests. Maybe you'll see some ideas when we talk about books in class that you wouldn't have thought of before, and you just think, that might be kind of interesting to read about. So you give it a try. The letter C stands for, can you comprehend what you are reading? If you don't understand what you're reading, it could be a really unpleasant experience. And so there's probably reading that you do or reading that you will have to do that is really hard to understand, and you'll have to do that in some of your classes. That's not the kind of reading we're talking about for SSR. For SSR, you need to enjoy it. And so if you don't understand what you're reading, that's not going to work. So how do you know if you understand the book without doing anything like a big assessment or test? Well, one thing you can think about is the letter K for knowing the words. And we use the 5-finger rule, which is kind of slick. All you have to do is read the first page of the book and keep track of how many words you don't understand. If you don't understand more than 5 words, then it's probably a little too hard. If you understand every single word, then it might be too easy. If it's somewhere between, 2 to 5 words or so that you don't understand on that first page or within the first couple of pages, then it's probably a good level, because it's okay to challenge yourself, but you don't want to have to be looking up every single word, because that would be miserable if you're just in the process of trying to understand something. I shouldn't say that. Some people probably like to learn lots of new words, and maybe that's their thing. But most people don't want to have to stop and think about the meanings of all of the words when they're reading a book that they're just trying to relax and enjoy. So hopefully that makes sense. I have some suggestions of some good authors that you might want to check out. Gordon Korman, Will Hobbs, Gary Paulson, Mary Downing Haying, Mike Lupica. These are all kind of known for your age group over the last several years. If those don't appeal to you, there are plenty more books out there. Another thing you might want to check out are series, because if you find a series that you like, then you have a bunch of books and you'll always be able to keep going with the next one. So Blueford High has a series, Shadow Children, The Click, Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. Chronicles of Vladimir Todd is kind of fun. It's about vampires, and the first book is 8th Grade Bites, and so it's specific to 8th grade. If you're in 8th grade, you might that might speak to you a little bit, just because you might be in that grade. So anyway, just some ideas for you, and I just wanted to remind you to try to follow these strategies when you're trying to select your SSR book.